Welcome back to my channel. This is Shur Voice with Adda Shur. How's been your week? Did you have to do some auditions? Is your voice feeling healthy and strong? If not, that's all right. We're not machines. And so there are some weeks and it's going to be better and some weeks not. Some weeks your allergies may be kicking up, some not. Some days you may not have had enough sleep. All of these things affect the voice. That's why it's so important that we really understand our instrument and keep studying all the time. Studying by reading, by listening, by understanding intellectually, and also doing certain exercises and certain voice practices on a daily basis, or at least weekly, several times a week. So singing is an athletic sport. Our breathing system has to be in shape. A walk a day is very good. Stretching, walking, as well as obviously controlled long breaths and sustaining of in-breaths. However, I want to talk about over-practicing and overdoing and how that's also sometimes a problem that I see with young and ambitious singers, is that they may, in their anxiety to get everything right, sing too much in the practice room. So one of the subtitles in one of my chapters of my book, Sopranos Are Not Pianos, which I don't know if I have this set up correctly. Yes, sopranos are not pianos. I mentioned, don't leave your voice in the practice room, please. I had a student with me several years ago. She had been singing for quite a long time. But because she was not, doing that full time, when she had a gig coming up, let's say she hadn't had a gig for a month or two, she said, "Oh, I better start singing, getting ready, getting prepared to get back in shape," which was correct. Yeah, you have to get back in shape. I'd have to get back in shape because I'm not ready to perform. I'd have to spend at least a week or two getting back in shape, getting my voice really fluid and flexible, and I'd probably have to do what? Speak less and maybe even teach less so that my voice would get what? Fresh. So remember, I started the whole conversation with, how was your voice this week? And maybe it wasn't functioning as well. Maybe you're under the weather, and here I have some phlegm coming into my my throat as I speak. So I'm going to pause for a second. I'll be right back. So unlike a pianist, for example, I could play the piano with a cold. Yes, I could. I could play the piano if my throat hurts, right? As long as my fingers aren't broken. Because the piano, it's always ready. It's always there. But what about me? What am my voice? My vocal cords is right here. These two little tiny, there's only as tiny as a little bit of strands of, by the way, they're not cords, they're folds. You see your mouth? So your mouth is this way, right? So your vocal cords is kind of shaped like a mouth, but this way. And it closes and opens. Anyway, that's another discussion. So when you are preparing for your recital or your audition, of course you do want to start getting scheduled with your coach, with your accompanist. You start rehearsing, but you want to schedule that several weeks or out before that important recital or audition. And here I'm talking to those young singers who are maybe in high school or in college, or wanting, who've already left college, but maybe you're working now and you're trying to get back into career. So don't get so overzealous the week of your event. That's where you want to start calculating, okay, now I need to have rest periods where I don't talk much and I sing very little, and if whatever I do is very precise, because you want to come with as fresh an instrument as possible for that wonderful event. So it's going to take trial and error for you to know how much you need to warm up and get your voice together. Now, for example, my brother, who's a pilot now, but he has to warm up. I noticed that he warmed up much longer than I would want to warm up, and it worked fine for him. So you have to know your history, you have to know your instrument, but a general rule of thumb, as far as what I believe, is that less is more, and shorter practice periods, like a good 5 minutes or 10 minutes, seeing where is your voice, what's happening. Then rest, go sit down, go outside for a moment, go walk around the block. Just think about your singing, even as you're walking around the block. Practice your breath, your exhalation, do some humming, come back, have a little bit of tea, re-warm up again. Maybe 2 hours later, warm up some more. So this could be that week, that last week before you have to prepare, so that the day of you don't do that much warming up. This has worked for me. Now everyone's a little different, but I would not do a heavy duty, huge warm up on a day where you're going to have a lot of traveling, you're going to be doing a lot of or a lot of singing, or you have a big role. Now, when you read the biographies of some of the great singers from 100 years ago, a few like Lili Lehmann, who was an extraordinary technician. If you don't have her book, I highly recommend you buy it. She wrote over 130 years ago. It's very, very interesting things. I feel very close to her approach to singing. In any case, Lili Lehmann, not Lotti, but Lili Lehmann, Lehman. She was a dramatic coloratura, and she sang everything. Basically, she sang whatever it was, she sang it, kind of like what Callas was able to do. But she had a very, very big, powerful voice, and she was a big, powerful woman, and she liked to practice a lot the day of the performing. Okay, whatever. She knew what the Mack truck voice, she knew what she needed to do. But some voices are more delicate, and if you know that you have had tendencies to maybe lose your voice, or that your voice is a small sound, and that's nothing to be ashamed about. We have different weights of voice. We have the more lyric, smaller voice, and we have the heavier, more full lyric, and then we have the heavier, yet heavier spinto, and then we have dramatic for the female, and that's in the female range. So whatever you need to do, but try to be very aware of when you are feeling that it's not working. Don't keep hitting it. Don't keep pushing those notes. Go several notes below. Sit down, stretch, yawn, do something else. Take a break and let the body find its equilibrium. Sometimes there's phlegm that is coming down on the cords. Just as you're warming it up, you'll find there's interference. So you sit, you drink a little water, or you have a little tea. You breathe, forget about it. Let your vocal cords settle down. Let the mind settle down. So when all is said and done, you have to be aware of your tendencies to push the voice or to overpush yourself, and hold that back, because doing more singing and more pounding away and hitting at that note over and over and over again is not going to get your results. It's just going to make your vocal cords feel more stressed. They'll create more phlegm for you, which then you'll have to clear your throat yet more times. So when you start getting interference, take a break. Walk around the house, sit down, do something else, go wash the dishes. Just listen in your mind to the song or just speak the words, take a break, and go back maybe an hour later and see how are things now. And just stand in your room, open your arms wide, and try a phrase maybe a few notes lower, several notes lower. Whatever phrase has been troubling you, maybe it's a low phrase. Sing that a little higher. And then pretend that you're singing it in that higher place. So many tricks one can discuss. So I hope some of these ideas have been of help to you. If you'd like to leave me a comment, and I would love to hear from you, and if I can, I'll reply. In the meantime, if you haven't already done so, please like and subscribe and share, and I hope to see you again soon. Have a wonderful week.